Good evening, everybody. I'm glad you all were able to make it to our virtual roundtable tonight. We've got a lot of different things coming up. You will be able to go back and look at the slides that we're going to post so you can get all the information. You don't have to be busily scribbling it down. You can do that too, but we want you to listen. So again, welcome everybody. We're going to move through a bunch of things tonight. So pay attention. At this point, we want to, as we start all our meetings, we'll have the OA come in and present the flags, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. The Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to govern my country, to obey the Scout Law,
My duty,
to help other people at all times,
and
keep myself physically strong,
people at all times,
morally straight,
myself,
and the Scout Law.
awake, more straight,
The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly,
helpful,
courteous, kind, obedient,
courteous,
fearful,
kind,
thrifty,
obedient,
brave,
fearful, brave, reverent.
2.
Thank you very much, Luca. And next slide. General agenda of tonight will be the announcements we'll get to. Some guides for virtual meetings, since we're not really meeting in groups. Upcoming events for dates that we do have. Home activities to engage your youth, and we'll be adjourning the meeting. Also, the next time we actually physically meet in person, the first 20 people who come up to me and let me know what the code is for tonight, which is 49, we'll get a pack of 25 Scout Bucks. We will be having an auction in the fall. By then, I know we will all be meeting together. So you got to come up to me and tell me the number, or you don't get your packet. Next slide. Dates to be aware of what's coming up. We have Backyard Camporee, which is something you can do with your Scouts. Pinewood Derby is currently scheduled for May 15th. If there are any changes on these dates, by the way, you will be all informed on it. Camp car pickups, or actually returns, should be May 28th. That'll be held at the Beaver Toyota in Cumming. Spring Family Camping, May 29th. That will be at Rainy Mountain. District Camporee, May 28th. Are they running together? Summer Camp has not changed. Wood Badge, those who are taking it, will be in July. District Award dinner will some, not sure, but it will be Wild Game, which will be at Camp Rainy Mountain to help support activities up there. There are dates or links on the web page here that you can connect to. Next. We are still taking recognition for the Scouts who have performed duties in your units, whether it is a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Cub Scout Scouts, or Venture Crews. The links are here for the District Award of Merit, Spirit of Scouting, Scouter of the Year, and the Godsend Award. Please take some time, look at those who are making your units work. Let's recognize them. We'll be doing that recognition sometime late summer, early fall. We're still figuring out the dates on that. You have until June 1st to get those in. Again, go online, fill them out, send them in to us. Next. I'm not sure who has this one.
Well, so I'll jump into this one. So thank you, Mark, for a great start for our first virtual district event. It's awesome. We'll have lots of things happening, and we're all about scouting at home. So where else are we going to look at? Well, I mean, we have to be sheltered in place, and we're going to look at scouting at home. What you want to look at is look at scouting.org. It actually has many different options here to talk about how you can look at whether you're Cub Scouts, the troops, the venturing, Sea Scouts, or even the STEM program. You have many different options you can look at. And this is just one of many different avenues to look for scouting opportunities. And from that standpoint, it's being able to help keep the youth engaged. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But really, it's about leveraging the resources you have available to you. So as we move forward on this topic, this is kind of our topic, there are many different options when we talk about virtual, et cetera. And that's what we're going to talk to here. And this is Mr. Talbot. I'll get started on this because you want to think about virtual meetings, right? We're used to be there in person. That's what scouting is all about, right? Learning to mentor each other, learning ability to keeping everyone enthusiastic, learn about different styles with the knots or starting fires or learning new skills. And you can also do that virtually, right? So and have many different options here to look at, whether it's talking about Zoom, WebEx, or if it's just having a conference call to talk, think about that with the youth as well. Because we want to make sure we keep the youth engaged because trust me, they're all going stir crazy like we all are. And it's up to us from an adult perspective to provide some of that thought leadership and also entrench that with some of the youth. So from that, we do have multiple different types of examples for scout meetings. You can do pack meetings. You can talk about the virtual den meetings. And I've known even troops already. I know Pack 207, their Cub Master actually went on Facebook and did Facebook Live and was showing and demonstrating with parents how they could go on little trips and do different activities with their den or even with their own youth. So you have lots of opportunity to learn. So definitely take advantage of that. From a Scouts BSA, from our troop perspective, think about those PLCs. We do them all the time and we usually do them in person. Now you can even have it virtual if you want to do virtual, or you do have it just conference call. I do recommend the visual like what we're doing here. That will make a lot of difference. It provides the ability to communicate, also to express themselves. Yeah, you're going to have the fun part. Don't get me wrong. They're teenagers and youth, but also being able to do that. And we're going to talk about that can even be for the patrol meetings. So you have the patrol leader work with the meetings. And then we are going to be doing our monthly roundtables the same way we have it right now and have it fully streamed. We are streaming this to make it easier to access and open to feedback. And on that note, if there's any comments or questions, we're going to ask that later on in a little bit. On YouTube Live, you do have the ability to comment or ask us any questions, anyone that's here from a district committee perspective, or even our district executives are here as well. So feel free to put comments on there. We are actively monitoring that. And the last one is for Eagle Border Reviews. We're going to talk about that and virtually doing that as well. So lots of different pieces. Well, that brings us right to our next topic. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, we talk about advancement. When we talk about advancement, it's about the achievements. And the achievements, there are multiple ways to log that. And actually, I'm probably not the best person on that. Carol, are you here? Hold on one second. Carol's
having some trouble getting in.
Okay, so, well, Mark, would you like to talk to this? Because you probably more.
Yes, with the advancement, there are a lot of stages. And remember, as your parents in the dens, they're able to sign off on the achievements. As Cub Scouts, we ask them to do their best. That's all we're asking of our Cub Scouts. So make sure that the youth, the boys and the girls, get a chance to do these things. Most of the activities you can do right at home. Someone might be going out for a walk around the neighborhood, but take your book and go out. It'll be a great time for them to spend with their adult partners. So make sure you do that. Now with the Hour of Light and the Weeblos, they are giving them extensions into June and July to get things completed. For the packs, look at the same time frame. We know that with them being home for school, not being able to get out, there might some things you're not done yet, but make sure you do go after them. As you complete them, make sure you get that information back to your advancement chair so that they can be logged properly. When we all get back together again they'll be getting their ranks. If they haven't already ranked already, they will be getting it then. So just because we're not meeting directly doesn't mean they can't continue to work on their advancement and achievement. And it'll give them a little change of pace from schoolwork. Next page.
So on this one, on the merit badges, there are merit badges opportunities to do at home, and we have several listed right here, and you can reference these materials right on the internet. And there's lots of different options out there, and just I'll just call it a Google search on these merit badges, and you're able to have some, be able to work on those. What I also recommend with some of these merit badges is if you know of multiple youth within your unit who are working on the same merit badge, maybe from a social distancing, have them come together with a Zoom meeting or Facebook and be able to chat or something like that. Trust me, the youth understand all the technologies of how to connect. It's just being able to get them to connect. So leverage that. There's, like I said, you see about a dozen plus right here in front of you, but we want to make sure to provide those options so you had that insight. Which brings us, as far as additional resources, that's really what today's about, is help us bring this to the next level for resources for scouts. And we have the 30-day challenge. Now, 30-day challenge is something I think, Carol, you were going to be talking on this. Carol, are you back? Carol, are you back?
Doesn't look like she is yet.
Mark, would you like to speak on any of this?
Sure.
Hey, Mark.
There's, as you see, there's a web link there. Are you here, Carol? No. There is a link there. This is actually put up by another one of the councils that you can go to that'll give them ideas and things that they can do outside. 30 days. We're mid-April now. That's putting them into May. Even if you stretch it out and go to the beginning of June, there's a lot of things you can do with your boys and your girls in the packs. So it's another resource that you have out there. And these are just a few that are available. A lot of other districts are also putting up activities and things that you can do with your scouts. I haven't looked at the Boy Scout one, so. And
Marcia,
we also have venturing.
Marcia, would you like to talk about any of the venturing 30-day challenges? Have you looked at providing insight on that?
Along the same vein, the different venturing regions across the country, the southern, the western, the northern, all the different regions have pulled together a 30-day challenge. And it's just really, it's not working towards advancement by any means. It's a way to keep our scouts engaged and active and interacting with each other and the world and keeping the mission of venturing in mind. So there's just an activity that you can do every day. It's not mandatory, required, or that structured. It could flow from one month into the other, but you'll see there's a lot of really good activities on there. And what I was going to mention, something I think is really important. A lot of our youth are feeling really disconnected. We are very connected via Zoom and Google Hangouts and the WebEx, but they're used to seeing their friends and other youth. So anything we can do to keep them engaged and to eliminate some of that underlying stress that they're feeling from the forced isolation because of the COVID-19, these kinds of activities are great. Virtual campouts, playing board games. Heck, you can even play online Scrabble within a unit. It doesn't have to be necessarily what we think of as traditional Scout advancement activities. It can be simply for the fact of keeping them engaged and connected to each other during this time until we can physically get back together again. I think it's good for the adults too. So great resources to have. And all you have to do is get on the internet and Google Scout 30-day challenges. You will find for all the different levels, whether it's Cubs, Scouts, Sea Scouts, venturing, all the different programs have them.
Thank you, Marcia. And that brings us to our next topic on Eagle Board reviews. As you know, we're actually very active on our scouting community, and it actually does include Eagle Boards. And we actually had to defer our Eagle Boards in March because of our social distancing opportunities we had, and now shelter in place on top of it. And we're going to have our first virtual board review starting this Saturday. And I appreciate everyone volunteering for that on the volunteer side. And we plan on having some great start to be able to make that happen. I also want to extend a thank you actually to my entire team from the advancement committee, because honestly, they have been, not just we, but I won't take credit for it. They have been very feverishly putting things together to make sure we're ready for that in those Eagle Boards reviews, making sure that happens. The quick update on that as well, and this literally just happened in the last couple hours. For those that have not been are looking into your projects, looking into your Eagle Boards right now from a project side, because of social distancing, I would say that's probably on pause. There are opportunities that you could have projects that include social distancing, and feel free to reach out to the advancement team. We're more than happy to talk you through any of that. But when it comes to our standard type projects that we're used to, whether it's reconditioning or helping from a cemetery cleanup, some as far as building benches, things like that, those options are not really available to us at this moment. But we are going to be working on this and working very feverishly on this. Now, if you have your project complete and you have all of your merit badges complete and you're having your Scoutmaster conference and you're really ready to have your Eagle Board, you do have the opportunity to do that as well. And we will be scheduling those in the upcoming weeks/months. Well, hopefully not months on months, but in the upcoming weeks. So definitely reach out to us and see how we can help you on that as well. We'll make sure that's in there. Okay, so as we continue, just want to have a quick conversation on that. This is back to Marcia's point. Keep the scouts engaged. And I said keep your scouts because they're also our scouts. Definitely want to keep that in mind, because think about today's day and age. Think about how the world's changed since we have been in their shoes at their ages, how we're looking at it from the age that the stresses, different stresses that they have, working at home and actually doing homework at home. I was just talking to my son earlier tonight. He's in college and he's at UGA and he has to do the same thing. And he's going stir crazy doing virtual lessons, just absolutely stir crazy. And I know I would too, right? But keep in mind, keep in different ways of keeping them engaged and being able to move that forward, because it's going to be very, very key. Now, the additional piece with that is when I say they're scouts, not just the youth, but also think about the leadership too. Think about the leaders and how us as leaders need to look and move ourselves forward. And as far forward and leverage ourselves as the rock to be able to help the youth move forward. And that's where we're going on this topic, is they need our leadership more than ever. More than ever, we need to help influence them, help them relax, help them to understand it will be okay. We've never had any precedent. We've never had anything ever like this before. And it's being able to work through this and move that forward. So leaders, adults' perspective, honestly, it's time. We all call ourselves youth that will just continue on. I'm one of those myself. But we need to make sure that we're working with each other cohesively on that front. Now, there is one other opportunity from a leader's perspective, and I'm just about finished on this part. It comes to unit leader activities, because there is training for us too. Think about that YPT training that just expired. It's time to renew it, and you've not thought about it. Think about the opportunity to make that happen. Or leader-specific training. Maybe you've not taken some of the Scoutmaster specific training that you can do online. Or if you want to be that merit badge counselor and you have the paperwork filled out, but you've not taken the online training, it's your opportunity to do that, right? It's being able to look at that and move that forward. So as you think about this, being able to have that training opportunity, the scouts depend upon us to be those leaders and provide that influence, and they deserve those trained leaders. So even like starting fires, and there's a reason why on this slide, we said starting fires outside, right? Versus inside. Yeah, you can put a fireplace, but have it outside as well. And definitely like cooking, et cetera. So think about that. Would anyone on the team like to add anything else to this slide for unit leader activities? I guess not. It's okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
One thing that I was going to say, Bill, on the last slide, I would encourage unit leaders to continue their normal activities too, like hold your committee meetings, get together with your parents, have parent meetings, get together and brainstorm and figure out creative ways to work within the restrictions that we have placed on us right now. Keep moving forward in the same way we want the youth to keep moving forward, and they'll see that we're still active and our troops and our crews and our packs are still going, and the youth will follow our lead.
No, that's a great point. There's some individuals I work with, and I look and follow them actually on YouTube and things like that, and they remind me of a comment I heard about enthusiasm and energy, and that energy and enthusiasm has to come from us. We are that power plant. It's generated from us. Yes, we get it whenever we speak with others, but also we have to generate that from us to be able to project outwards to provide that level of confidence. So yes, that's definitely, you're absolutely right, Marcia. It's being able to go that next step. So there is a district challenge. Actually, we're going to talk to our Ds in a second, but before we get to our Ds, there's a district challenge for us. We actually now have a YouTube channel for the Northeast Georgia Etowah District. We have our own, and that's what you're watching. Many of you are watching on YouTube right now. And on this YouTube, as you're looking at it, please subscribe to YouTube. I'm not trying to be a paid political announcement on this one, but it's more, as a subscriber, we're actually able to further stream it. You can see updates come from the Northeast Georgia Council on the Etowah District as we stream this, and we're going to do our best to leverage this ongoing for ongoing communications. It's being able to communicate better, get to our subscribers as well as our membership as a whole. Because think about it, today's world has changed, not just with social distancing and being in place as far from a sheltering perspective, but think about the world even before we started this, right? We're all busy. We're absolutely busy in several fronts. Doing on YouTube and understanding and getting that most recent message, whether it's from council, district, or even your own unit. Maybe you have something happen in your own unit you'd like to find out about. And you're going to find out that through, for some reason, it's going to be on the district roundtable. You're able to see that. It's going to be recorded and available. So think about that. But that's going to be our challenge. If we can get 100+ subscribers by the end of this month, yes, that is April 2020, not April 2021, that would be awesome. So being able to have that. So with that, I'm going to hand this over to our district executives, Jay and Sarah, if they have anything they'd like to add on today's event.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, everybody.
There, I'm here.
Hey, Sarah's at Scoutland.
Look at that.
Yeah. The only thing I have to add, we are looking for pictures of you all doing your meetings virtually. So if you could post those on Facebook or send them to Jay or myself, we'd love to share them around the council.
Two things for me too. April 25th, that's a big thing. Our backyard camporee, that's coming up. You don't have to pay anything, but there should be options that you can actually register and get a patch for that. So that'll be kind of fun. There's basically a limited edition patch. You know, everybody loves patches and Scouts. So this is your opportunity to dive in and not spend $50 to go to the weekend. You still get a patch. It's just a lot less expensive. So we've got that. The other thing is, let's talk to our people around. Our Cub Scouts summer camps are coming up pretty soon. This summer, we're planning full speed ahead. We got 4 different weeks here in Forsyth County, or well, actually in Etowah, not in Forsyth County, but in the Etowah district. And we would love to have people who may have some time this summer that would want to do any volunteering, leaders, troops, any of the kids, any of the boys that or girls in a BSA troop that would like to get some time for, well, you've been kind of sedate the last few weeks. You may not be able to have enough hours towards your Eagle project. This may be something you can do, or not your Eagle project, but towards your Eagle. There's a lot of things that you need to put some hours in for community service and scouting service here. So that's those are my ideas for today. Let us know.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Is there
Can I add
any?
one thing?
Sure. Go for it, Tom.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to mention earlier, there was a slide with a list of upcoming dates. Spring Family Camping is actually May 22nd through 24th. I see the little PowerPoint shifting towards that way. That's cool. This technology is cool. It's fun going on the line. All right.
Absolutely.
And then have we all talked about the camp card opportunity for online sales?
Have not. Feel free to.
All right. So I think this is really cool. Basically, the council is taking most of the work out of selling camp cards. So we've set it up with Tentaroo where people can actually go online and purchase a camp card, and the council will mail the camp card directly to that that person's house. All we need is like a commitment from a unit who wants to do it, and then a person who'd be the point of contact. And we're setting up individual unique links for each unit that wants to do this. And so one of your scouts would put a message on social media, which we created a form one if someone wants to use that, or they can put their own, take a picture of the card back and front, do a little elevator speech story about why they should support. And that person reading that link can click on the link and go purchase a card. And when they purchase the card, they can type in which scout they're supporting, and each unit will have their own link. So, we won't be able to confuse it with somebody else. And then towards the end of the sale, at the end of the sale, we'll basically just run a download of the spreadsheet and send the units their commission checks. And we can update, any unit on the spreadsheet throughout the sale, but each scout will be able to keep a record of how many they've sold. People can pay directly online to the council, and the council will mail it directly to the person's home. So really, any youth in your unit can sell camp cards, and all they have to do is put a message on their social media platform. What do you think?
So Tom, with that sounds like some great, some new additions to definitely add. We will make sure to communicate that. Do we have any materials that we can actually share when we distribute our slide deck to everyone this weekend?
So I don't know what a slide deck is.
Well, if you just have a PDF or something, or we can write something up that we can add to the this effort.
Yeah, definitely can.
Okay, that'd be awesome, because we'll make sure that's included. So no, great point. Great point.
Thanks, Bill.
Not a problem. Anytime. Anything else you'd like to add, Tom? So it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. It's been crazy. Things have been going good, just trying to stay out, indoors. But this coronavirus is intense. I just hope everyone's being safe.
Absolutely. I appreciate those wisely words. So no, definitely appreciate your help on that. And at this moment, it's a kind of our question answer section. If there's any questions about anything that's been talked about so far, I think we are still monitoring the questions on our YouTube live channel. And is there anything that we need to look at the moment, Kathy?
Yeah, Bill, the one question we have, will Baloo training, which was originally scheduled for April the 24th through the 26th, be rescheduled?
We will take that question and capture it and follow back up with that individual. Neil is not online, so I do not know the answer to that. But I do know there's lots of training opportunities. Lots of training has been deferred at this point on several fronts. Okay, any other questions, Kathy?
Nope, that is all I have at the moment. But lots of great comments that this was very helpful.
Okay,
Bill,
excellent.
I did have an announcement that a late breaking news that I'd like to share, if that's okay.
Sure.
So we just got word a couple hours ago, actually, after a lot of careful consideration and careful look at the calendar and all of the other events that are going on through our council moving forward, the decision has been made to move NYLT. So we will not be holding NYLT during the traditional weeks, week 1 and week 2, last week in May, first week in June. Instead, we will be holding a single NYLT split course, and it will be the weekend. It will be a short and a longer weekend. The first weekend will be November 28th and 29th. So it will be immediately following Thanksgiving. And the second extended weekend will be December 27th through the 31st. So right after Christmas, but before New Year's. They were trying to make sure that we could fit into the scheduling of the properties of Scoutland, all the other activities and trainings that are going on, and also stay in line with school schedules and breaks so that we can make sure we still are able to develop to deliver a quality course. So I just wanted to put that out there. Anybody that has scouts that are already registered for NYLT, I'm sure we'll get communication for that. If you haven't registered for NYLT, we're still putting it on, and it's going to be great, and it'll be really interesting to do this new course format. So feel free to continue forward with that and sign your kids up for NYLT.
Well, that's definitely late breaking. That's definitely awesome news. Yeah. It's good to hear that we're keeping and we're moving forward. That's the important part. We are moving forward, and trust me, that's not as far as we know from a scheduling perspective. Like summer camp is still on. It's still a go. There's been no date changes as of this moment. That's always subject to change. We'll see how things progress in the upcoming weeks/months. But right now, everything is going on the go, and that's also for the day camps. The day camps are also good at the moment, so we're moving forward on that front.
Bill, I do have another question from our YouTube channel. The question is for Cub Scouts who have not completed their current rank. When day camp starts in June, can they register for the camp in the next rank and begin working on that next rank?
I will defer that to our district executives or Tom.
Yeah, the short answer is definitely. Yeah, they can take whatever rank advancement, whichever one they'd like, because if you think about it as a Boy Scout, you could be scout rank and working on a first class requirement. I mean, to me, it's the same thing.
Typically what you have is when they move to the next grade, but since this year is not a typical year, my leaning would be that if they still need to finish things up in the rank they're in, let them finish it at day camp. If not, go ahead and start on the next rank. I also got an update on the Blue information text to me that it will be running currently with the Spring Camporee, which is the May 29th weekend.
Awesome. Well, there's our answers. Kathy, is there anything else on our YouTube live channel?
No other questions at the moment.
Okay. Well, definitely keep those questions posted. And even after we have this recorded and posted, make sure you put comments. And if there's any questions, we're more than happy to take that. But we also do have an email address. In addition, I have it right here on screen, nega.etowahdistrict@gmail.com. It's a Gmail account, but we are monitoring it. So, and if for some reason we don't catch it, we're doing our best to monitor it. We're monitoring lots of different things, and we'll make sure we stay on top of that to make sure that happens. But we will also take a look at that YouTube, our YouTube channel, since that is one of our newest mediums of output for keeping everyone in tune with what's happening here in the Etowah district. Okay, so with that, gosh, it's been a great meeting, guys. Had some great contributions, lots of different things. Are there any last ending thoughts as we wrap ourselves up for today's roundtable?
Where do we go for breakouts?
Well, for breakouts for today, we're not going to have breakouts for today. This was a good question. Good question. So for breakouts, we actually do have a couple different mediums we're looking at, including even leveraging Zoom to do that. make that happen. And this was a first trial run of leveraging. We are using a Zoom technology as well as streaming, just so everyone understands. And if we leverage the video conferencing ability of Zoom, we can leverage breakout rooms. So we can do that in the future. But for today, we just want to at least get the announcements out, move it forward, and get feedback because we all know feedback's a gift, and we're open to feedback as well. If there's things we can help improve, breakout rooms are a great example. If you like a breakout room, and if you're going to be there, like to be active with a breakout room afterwards, have that Zoom connection available so you can be part of that activity. When we're finished with the general session, please let's make sure we get that feedback. That's what we're looking for, because right now we're doing our best to be able to at least communicate. That's the idea, right? Be able to communicate. But that's a great question, Tom.
That's
Hey,
really
Joe,
cool.
we've got a couple more things on our channel.
Sure.
Talia and Powderhorn. Do we have any information of those two areas?
I do not know about Talia, even though I do know our Talia, I don't know what to put his title on, is online and actually watching this right now. But I do not know of any change in dates at this moment in time.
Okay, as soon as we can get some dates, that would be great to add to our slides so we can put that on there as well.
Absolutely.
I'm going to send Nick a text right now and see if he can respond to me.
I would assume that those dates might stay the same since they're late fall.
That's late fall. That's September and November. September, October, November.
Yeah, then that's definitely the same.
Powderhorn is the September, October timeframe, and Talia is not until November. So
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely going on.
But we will take that information and follow back up on those questions, Kathy. Great questions.
I have one more update that came through to me in regards to Wood Badge. It'll be 7/21 and 8/8. That's what's been texted to me.
Correct. Yep. We have that captured. See, we're getting up to date information on the moment. Can't get any better than that. Well, cool.
And
Well,
Mr. Francis says that Talia is still on schedule.
Mr. Francis would know if anybody would. This is true. Well, excellent. Well, in closing, Mark, let me hand this back over to you to help wrap us up.
Gee, thanks. One thing that we had at the last roundtable that I thought was appropriate in regards to our social distancing, whatever, is we teach our youth about how to use knives and their blood circle and all. Have them think of it that way. They're all very mindful of they should be mindful of how to handle a pocket knife or a regular knife. Have them keep that in mind too. You're not only protecting yourself, you're protecting other people too. So it's mindful there. And one other thing that I thought was significant in the magazine for those who get it is what do we ask to do a good turn daily? Just because we're at home or restricted as to where we can go doesn't mean we can't do something good for somebody else. And it doesn't have to be big and huge, but it will make a difference. Holding the door, bringing somebody's trash can in for them. The neighbors that you know that are elderly, check in on them. Are they okay? Do that good turn daily, and you'd be amazed how much we can accomplish. It's also been the shortest roundtable I think we've ever had.
Well, again,
the meeting
going to Taco
on the porch afterwards.
On the porch, I like it.
Yeah. Tentatively, our next roundtable will be May 14th. Whether it's going to be here on the computer or it will be physical, we will wait and see. But keep that time slot open.
Thanks, Mark.
And we will do our best as far as ongoing, and this is something already in our plan, our seeds in our minds, is as we have roundtables, even in person, we're going to look for ways actually to even broadcast that in the future. in a similar format. That way you're always in tune with what the latest and greatest is. So just some things, definitely we're looking at technology, being able to leverage it even more to help better communicate within our district. So with that, we'd like to say thank you for being here. Really do appreciate the energy coming in and leveraging some of your time on social distancing versus being with your family this evening. But we really do thank you very much and for everything that you do in scouting. It definitely shows in many ways within the community, within the youth, and even within the overall program. So thank you and have a good evening.